He arrived at April's apartment at exactly 6 p.m., smiling and expecting a romantic evening. He opened the door and walked in. The lights came on. Surprise! But it wasn't the kind of surprise he expected. Sitting in April's apartment were his mother, his 3 brothers, his pastor, his 2 neighbors from his street, and Ogechi sitting right in the front with his children. Aloy froze. The color drained from his face. "Welcome to your party, my darling," April said, her voice sweet but her eyes cold. Aloy, Mama, stood up, her voice shaking with anger. "Sit down." "Mama, I can explain." "Sit down." Aloy sat, his hands trembling. April stepped forward with a file. "Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about Aloy Okonkwo. For 6 months, he has been telling me he's single, that he's lonely, that he's looking for a good woman." She opened the file and started pulling out receipts, laying them on the table one by one. "In 6 months, this man has spent on me 250,000 naira on a phone, 150,000 naira on handbags and shoes, 480,000 naira on rent for this apartment, 600,000 naira as monthly allowance, approximately 400,000 naira on restaurants and hotels. Total, almost 2 million naira. Everyone gasped. April continued, her voice getting stronger. "Now, let me show you what he spent on his actual family." Ogechi stood up, her pregnant belly prominent. She was calm, but her eyes were fierce. "In the same 6 months, these are some highlights. He refused to pay 80,000 naira for my hospital admission when my blood pressure was dangerously high. He bought half-spoiled food for his children. He gave his daughter 1 pair of torn school shoes for the whole year. He made me take 3 buses while 7 months pregnant instead of giving me taxi fare. He calculated how many seconds of electricity his family could use." She pulled out her phone. "I have pictures. His children eating rotten yam, our house with a leaking roof that he refused to fix, the torn school uniforms, everything." Aloy's brothers were standing up now, angry. His pastor was shaking his head. His neighbors were murmuring. But his mother's voice cut through everything. "Aloy, look at me." He looked up, tears starting to form in his eyes. "Do you remember," Mama continued, "when your father died and we had nothing? Do you remember how your aunties and uncles contributed to train you in school? Do you remember how the whole village would contribute money so you could eat in university?" Aloy nodded, crying now. "And now you have become rich, and instead of taking care of your family, you are busy spending millions on a girlfriend while your children starve, while your pregnant wife suffers." "Mama, Shut up! I'm not finished. You are the most disgraceful son I have ever raised. You have brought shame to our family." One of Aloy's brothers stood up. "All these years, when you told us you were struggling, that you couldn't send money home, that things were hard, you were lying. You have millions, but you are just wicked and selfish." The pastor spoke. "Brother Aloy, the Bible says a man who doesn't provide for his family is worse than an unbeliever. You have failed as a husband and as a father." Aloy was crying fully now. Then Ogechi stepped forward. "I am divorcing you. The children will come with me, or they can go stay with your mother in the village. But whichever one you choose, you will send 300,000 naira for the children's upkeep." "But that's too much." "Too much?" Ogechi's voice rose for the first time. "You spent 2 million naira on your girlfriend in 6 months, but 300,000 naira for your 2 children is too much?" April stepped forward. "And me, I'm done with you. I can't be with a man who treats his family like trash. I thought you were a good man, but you are just a wicked, selfish liar." She pulled out an envelope. "By the way, this apartment you rented for me, I called the landlord and ended the lease. Here's the refund, 280,000 naira for the remaining months. I'm giving it to your wife." She handed the envelope to Ogechi. His family was disappointed. Ogechi moved to her family house while Aloy's mother took the children with her to the village. Every month, Aloy sent 300,000 naira to his mother for the children's upkeep. If the money was late, Aloy's mother would call him and shout until his ear hurt. April met a better man, a young, kind man who loved her and took care of her genuinely. Ogechi gave birth to a healthy baby girl. Aloy was allowed to come see the baby, but under supervision. He brought gifts, expensive gifts, but Ogechi barely looked at him. "You can visit the children once a month," she told him coldly, "under your mother's supervision." Aloy nodded, holding his daughter, tears running down his face. This tiny baby would grow up hearing stories about how wicked her father was, how he made her siblings suffer, how he valued money more than his family. After she left the hospital, she rented her own place and moved out of her parents' place. She's now a boutique owner and lives in a luxury apartment. She visited her children weekly, bringing them expensive clothes from her boutique and their baby sister. The children would laugh and play together. Aloy would visit too, and sometimes they met there. "Aloy, come and change your child's pampers," Mama would call. He played with his children in the garden. He made sure they got whatever they wanted. One night, the baby cried so loud that Ogechi couldn't sleep. She held the baby, fed her, but she was still crying. Aloy came to the room, took the baby, and started singing a lullaby for the baby. A few minutes later, she slept off. Ogechi took the baby and placed her gently on the bed. Aloy smiled and said, "Maybe she misses her dad. I'm sorry, Ogechi, for the insults, pain I caused you. I'm not saying you should forgive me immediately, but you should know that I deeply regret my actions, and I am trying to be a better person. Ogechi forgave you, but I need time on my own. Maybe in the future we can be a family again, but for now I prefer to stay on my own."